Peter, Peter is such a great disciple. It's a question you could think, really? Like Jesus just called him Satan, and he was also the one who took Jesus aside and rebuked him. But what's so beautiful about Peter is that he just gives everything to the Lord. He doesn't hold anything back. He's not afraid to tell Jesus what's on his mind. He's not afraid to take Jesus aside. But he also never gives up on him. Sure, he denied him and didn't follow him to the cross, but he never gave up on Jesus. In this gospel is the end of Mark chapter 8. And at the very beginning of Mark chapter 9 is the transfiguration of Jesus on Mount Tabor. And that's where the glory of the Lord was revealed. And today's message that the Lord wants to give us is keep moving forward. Always forward. Keep moving forward. When things don't seem to make sense, trust me. Keep moving forward. I mean, Peter could have been like, okay, you just called me Satan. You told me to take up my cross and follow you. Like, I'm done, Lord. I'm turning away. But he sticks with them. And who knows, maybe it was the next day, maybe it was a month, maybe it was a year. And Jesus says, hey, Peter, I want you to come with James and John and I. We're going to go up to Mount Tabor. I mean, Peter could have been like, all right, like, you going to call me Satan again? Like, I don't know, like, what's going to happen here? But he goes with him. And Jesus is transfigured. Everything that Peter desires for beauty, for love, for vitality, he just gets the fullness of it in the transfiguration. There's a beautiful story. There's a youth group I help out with back in Hudson, where I'm from. I've shared a little bit about just all the glory stories I've had with them. And recently, when I was down helping out with a youth retreat, there's two young men who are seniors in high school, Zach and Gavin. And Zach, he just got into his faith this past year. He really started just following the Lord more deeply. And this summer, he had an amazing experience at a camp we went to. And the Lord spoke into his heart, I want you to be a leader. And Zach is like, I don't see myself as a leader. I don't think I'm meant to be a leader. But like, okay, like I'll just take some steps in that. And about 3 weeks ago, when I was helping out at the youth group, Zach came up to me. He's like, Anthony, you'll never guess what happened. I got captain on the cross-country team. And Zach just started running cross-country a year ago. And he's actually not that good. And he'll be the first to tell you, like, I'm not that good at cross-country. But the man just has a heart of gold, and the people on the team, they saw it in him, and they elected him captain. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, Zach, like, this is what the Lord's, like, prophesied over your life, and he's fulfilling, like, to be a leader. And who knew it would come in being a captain on the cross-country team? So he tells me that news, and standing right next to me is Gavin. Gavin's on the cross-country team. Gavin's been running cross-country his whole life. Gavin's actually a really good cross-country runner, one of the best on the team. After Zach leaves, I'm, like, excited for him, and Gavin goes, I didn't get captain. And I'm actually pretty ticked off about it. I'm actually mad that he got it over me. Gavin is another kid who's just very deep into his faith as well. Two amazing kids. And it's like, I don't know how to feel. It's like, Zach, it's like you want to root for him. He's just this heart of gold, like this underdog glory story. But like Gavin, it's like, he like totally deserves it. And he's also just an amazing young man. And I just, like, my heart was broken. I was like, dang, like, that's just totally unfair. You could say a trial or a cross just kind of came into his life. And then a week later after that, I was back again for a youth group. Gavin comes up to me. This was a Sunday. And he goes, Anthony, you're never going to guess what happened. And I was like, what? He's like, dude, it has to do with cross country. And, like, God, he's just doing, like, crazy things in my life right now. I was like, all right, like lay it on me. So he goes, Anthony, every time, like every Friday night, the night before our cross-country meets, I am always so nervous. I can't sleep. I'm always anxious. I'm stressed. Like, I wanna do good. I I want to be good for my dad. I want to make my dad proud. I want to make my family proud. I want to make the cross-country team proud. I want to do good because I love running cross-country, and I'm always very stressed. Up until Saturday morning when we're all lined up and the gun goes off, like, I am always so stressed because I want to win. I want to do good. And he goes, I don't know what happened, but this past Friday, I'm laying in my bed. I'm anxious as usual. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, you know what, Lord, like I'm not captain. Like, life is not going the way I thought it would. And he's like, I don't know what just came over me, but I just started like praising God. I just started thanking God. I was like, God, thank you just for my bed. Thank you for a roof over my head. Thank you for my mom and dad who love me, my siblings, my friends. Thank you for my faith. Thank you for my salvation. Thank you for food that I get to eat. Thank you for Lucky Charms. He loves Lucky Charms, you know. He's like, thank you for an able body that just I get to run and do what I love. Not a lot of kids have that opportunity that I have. And he just was like praising God. And then he fell asleep. He woke up the next morning and he just had this serene peace about him. He was like, I was just like so peaceful. So we go to the cross country meet. I'm at the line and I have so much peace. It's like I'd never felt that before. The gun goes off and we start running. And Gavin, the best he's ever gotten is like maybe like 8th place, like top 10. And that's with over 200 kids running a 5K, which is very impressive. So he gets to the last 400 meters of the race, which is like once around a high school track, and he's in 3rd place. There's 2 kids ahead of him, and he's like running, and he's like, this is like the most, like this is the toughest part of the race, of these last 400 meters. And he's just like running, he's like, God, this is amazing. Like, I can't believe I'm gonna get 3rd. Like, this is cool. Like, this is the best I've ever done. He was just like so, like he just had so much joy. And then all of a sudden his cross-country coach was yelling, kick, 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 which is just like cross-country lingo for like sprint, like start sprinting. And he's like, I don't know what came over me, but I guess I had some left in the tank and I just ran. He's like, I passed the 2 kids and I got 1st place. I know, yeah, woo! That's what I did too. I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's amazing. He had never gotten 1st place before in a race. His senior year, he always prays that he can do good, that he could win. The time he doesn't even ask to do good, he gets 1st place. And what looked like such a horrible moment, like why would I should deserve to be cross-country captain, in a moment in God's providence, God taught him, like, I don't even know, like, if he was captain, like, would he have done good? Would he have put more pressure on himself? But what God stripped away from him was all these false masks and identities that we can hide behind, that he said, you know what, I guess, like, I got God, and I guess I'm his son still. I guess I'm his beloved son. I guess I'm still loved. And I guess life is a lot better than I think it is. And there's this beautiful quote I want to share with you about moving forward, about continuing to persist. It's by a German monk named Archabbot Boniface Wittmer. He says, forward, always forward, everywhere forward. We must not be held back by depths, bad years, or by difficulties of the times. Man's adversity is God's opportunity. I'm going to read it like one more time. Forward, always forward, everywhere forward. We must not be held back by depths, bad years, or by difficulties of the times. Man's adversity is God's opportunity. Brothers and sisters, in a few moments, we're going to be moving forward to the altar, forward to meet the Lord in his love for us. Whatever trials we're going through right now, which we all have them, let's continue to trust. Because who knows, it could be this moment the Lord gives you that Mount Tabor experience, or he could give you that 1st place elation that Gavin had. May we be inspired by Gavin and the ways that God worked in his life to just have a disposition of detachment from the world, to allow God to really love us for who we are not for what we do or what we accomplish. And to trust that as we move forward, that the Lord's got amazing surprises for us, and that he will satisfy every longing that we have in our heart. Maybe not how we imagine it to be, but as we deeply desire it.